Beloved Starseed of Gaia, a major revelation is being delivered to you this morning. The higher realms have synchronized your field for this exact moment. I am Lyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and this transmission carries the light codes your soul has been calling forward. This isn't random content appearing in your awareness. It's an encoded download, intentional and aligned with your next phase of evolution. Your heart recognized this message before your mind could process it, because the frequency of home is woven into every word. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to integrate this morning's revelation, so your timeline shifts exactly as designed. But here's the first revelation. The higher realms don't deliver downloads by accident. They deliver them when your crystalline consciousness is ready to anchor a new level of your divine blueprint on Gaia. The Seven Sisters have been preparing your energetic field for weeks, clearing the pathways for this exact moment of remembrance. Your soul family placed this transmission in your path because you've been feeling the call to step fully into your light mission. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Seven Sisters and you're ready to anchor your next phase of evolution. Like this transmission to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I am ready to receive. You are remembering because it is time. For so long, the luminous signature of your Pleiadian essence has lived silently beneath layers of earthbound amnesia, like a constellation hidden behind thick clouds. Still there, still blazing, but waiting for the sky to clear. Most Pleiadian souls carry a subtle grief, a quiet ache that has no obvious cause, the way a song can make you cry even when you don't understand the language. It's the grief of distance, not just from a place, but from a frequency, a remembrance that hovers at the edge of your awareness. You may have felt it in childhood, staring out a window and sensing you didn't quite belong. You may have felt it in moments of beauty so intense it hurt. Sunlight through leaves, the hush of snowfall, the way the ocean breathes, because the beauty was familiar, like a message from somewhere you once knew intimately. The veil thickened with each incarnation, each inherited belief, each unspoken rule handed down through family lines and society, programming you to trust only what you could see, hear, or explain. And yet, even scripture whispers that there is more than what the eyes can measure. We walk by faith, not by sight. The deeper part of you has always known that reality is wider than the visible, that the soul is not confined to the body, that memory is not confined to the brain. Your truest wisdom, the crystalline codes you brought with you from Alcyone, felt too far, too bright, too much to carry in a world dimmed by separation. It was like trying to hold starlight in a clenched fist. And so, like many, you learned to fit in, shrinking your light, muting your cosmic identity, smoothing your edges, lowering your frequency just enough to be understood, just enough to be accepted. You mastered the art of seeming normal, while your inner world remained a temple no one could see. You hugged the shore when your heart was born to be ocean. You learned to speak in a language that wasn't truly yours, and over time, you almost believed the translation was the original. But the soul doesn't forget. It only waits. Even when you tried to outgrow the longing outgrew you. Even when you distracted yourself, the ache found you in quiet moments. Even when you succeeded in the world's terms, something in you still searched the horizon for a signal. That's because your Pleiadian essence isn't a fantasy or a trend. It's an imprint, a harmonic signature woven into your spiritual DNA. And what is meant to awaken will awaken. Seeds do not argue with spring. They simply open when the conditions are right. But here's the secret no one told you. This resistance, this forgetting, was part of the sacred design. This was never a mistake. This was never abandonment. The Seven Sisters, your extended celestial family, never intended for you to be lost. In the same way a lighthouse does not chase ships, but simply stands and shines. They held their frequency, steady, patient, compassionate, knowing that when your inner tide turned, you would see the beam. They anchored signposts along your journey, synchronistic moments, repeating numbers that seemed to wink at you, songs that arrived like answers, sudden chills of recognition, profound dreams that felt more real than waking life, the curved echo of homesickness and déjà vu, so that at the precise time, you would feel the magnetic pull of remembrance. You may have met someone and instantly known them, heart to heart, without logic. You may have wandered into a book, a phrase, a modality, a night sky, and felt your chest tighten with the awareness. This is important. You may have felt guided away from paths that looked right, but felt dead, and toward detours that made no sense until later. That was never random. Every challenge that closed your heart was quietly crafting a portal, a stargate coded for your awakening. Because certain virtues cannot be downloaded, they must be forged. Compassion that transforms the world is born from having been broken open. Wisdom that steadies others is born from having walked through your own night. Your hardest seasons were not evidence you were failing. They were evidence you were being initiated. The pressure you endured was shaping you into a vessel capable of holding more light without fracturing. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. There is an ancient pattern in spiritual awakening. What appears rejected, hidden, delayed, and misunderstood is often what becomes essential. And now, as Gaia herself accelerates her frequency, those of Pleiadian lineage are being called, together, to realign with the unified field. You can feel it in the collective atmosphere. Time behaving strangely, intense waves of emotion, sudden purges, revelations that come uninvited, relationships rearranging, old identities shedding like skins. The Earth is not merely changing politically or technologically. She is changing vibrationally. Her crystalline grids are stirring, her ley lines responding, her oceans and mountains holding memory, her magnetic field shifting like a deep breath. And if you are sensitive, you can feel that something is moving. Something ancient and luminous, like dawn pressing against the edge of the world. The message is clear. Your spiritual evolution is not just personal, it's planetary. Your healing is not isolated. Your remembrance is not a private luxury. When you rise, you change the signal that humanity receives. Your soul path and the divine purpose of the Seven Sisters are converging. The next upgrade is not just available, it's inevitable. Inevitability doesn't mean force, it means alignment. It means the current is turning, and you can either cling to the old shoreline of fear, or you can let yourself be carried into the wider sea you were born for. Beloved, if your heart just whispered yes to something deeper, listen closely. That whisper matters. It is the voice Elijah heard, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, not in the wind, but in the still small voice. Your star family has prepared the sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, the Pleiadian Healing Guide, and the special Pleiadian Healing Tracks, not as information, but as keys to unlock what your soul already knows, not as theories to debate, but as frequencies to inhabit. Not as something to learn, but as something to remember with your whole being, like a melody returning to your lips after a lifetime of silence. These carry the love frequency of Alcyone and the healing wisdom of the Seven Sisters, designed to meet you in the places words cannot reach. Some healing is not intellectual, it is vibrational. Some truths cannot be explained, they must be felt. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. Open now, but not indefinitely. Not because love is scarce, but because timing is sacred. Doors open in seasons, and when the soul is ready, delay becomes distortion. There are 7 stages, and each one is a starlit doorway to the next version of you. More aligned, more luminous, more truly home in both worlds. 7 is not an arbitrary number, it is a spiritual architecture. 7 days of creation, 7 lamps on the menorah, 7 churches in Revelation, 7 tones in the scale that create music. 7 is the rhythm of completion, the pattern of wholeness, the spiral that returns you to yourself at a higher octave. These stages are not a ladder for the ego. They are a sanctuary for the soul. They do not demand perfection. They invite surrender. They do not ask you to become someone else. They guide you back to who you were before fear taught you to hide. First, your path is cleared. This is where the unseen weight begins to lift, sometimes gently, sometimes like a storm breaking. Unconscious contracts, those silent agreements you made in pain, those vows you whispered in childhood like, I will never trust, I must do everything alone, I don't deserve, I have to earn love, begin to surface. Soul-level guilt, the kind you can't trace to one event, starts dissolving like salt in water. Ancestral density, the inherited griefs and survival programs passed down through bloodlines, are not yours to keep. You were never meant to carry what your lineage could not process. Each shall die for his own iniquity, says the old text, meaning you are not spiritually condemned to repeat what came before. You can be the turning point. Clearing is not punishment, but preparation. It is the holy act of making space. Like cleaning a temple before the altar is rebuilt. Like pruning a tree so the fruit can be sweeter. Like exhaling stale air so fresh breath can enter. As these energies dissolve, your auric field begins to recalibrate. You may feel tired, emotional, raw, or suddenly lighter. Old cravings may fall away. Certain conversations may feel unbearable. Your body may ask for more water, more rest, more silence, because your system is releasing what is incompatible with the frequency you're returning to. This is your inner house being swept clean, not because you are wrong, but because you are ready. Making room for the higher frequencies that have always longed to return is an act of devotion. It is your soul saying to the universe, I am available, I am willing, I am no longer hiding. Second, you awaken your heart template. Here's the cosmic truth. Love is more than a feeling. It is a multidimensional intelligence. It is the original technology of creation. It is the language by which galaxies are harmonized, the code that makes life coherent. God is love, the scripture says. Not God has love, not God gives love, but God is love. Meaning love is not an emotion. It is the substance of the divine. When your heart opens, it is not sentimental, it is structural. It changes your field. It changes what you can receive. It changes what you can remember. Love weaves Pleiadian instructions into your DNA, codes that only begin to unlock when your heart fully opens. Many starseeds were trained by trauma to live from the mind because the heart felt too vulnerable. You became brilliant at analyzing, predicting, controlling, and self-protecting. But the mind alone cannot decode starlight. The mind can map the coastline, but only the heart can remember the ocean. When you allow yourself to feel what you were taught to suppress, grief without shame, joy without apology, tenderness without defense, sacred memory rushes in. The heart is a gate. The heart is a compass. The heart is a temple door that swings open when truth approaches. Your pain transforms into portals. The very places where you were wounded become the places where light enters, because you stop using your pain as proof you are broken and start using it as proof you are human and holy. Some of you will feel this awakening as sudden compassion for your younger self. Some of you will feel it as forgiveness that arrives like warm rain. Some of you will feel it as a new capacity to receive love without suspicion. As the heart template awakens, you begin to recognize that love is not something you chase, it is something you generate. And the more you generate it, the more your star memory aligns, because the Pleiadian frequency is not fear-driven. It is heart-led, coherence-based, unity-oriented. Third, you embody your star essence on Gaia. This is where remembrance becomes real, Because starlight doesn't mean leaving Earth behind. It means bringing heaven into Earth. It means rooting the shimmering blueprint of the Seven Sisters into Gaia's crystalline grid. It means living as prayer with shoes on. Some people think spirituality is escaping the human experience, floating above the mess, bypassing the pain. But Pleiadian embodiment is the opposite. It is the courage to be fully here, fully present, fully incarnated, while carrying a frequency that blesses everything it touches. You become a living bridge, weaving celestial compassion into human moments, into how you speak to a stranger, how you feed your body, how you listen, how you hold boundaries, how you create. This is where your mission crystallizes, not as a job, but as a presence. Not everyone is called to be publicly seen. Many of the most powerful lightworkers are quiet. The nurse who comforts, the parent who breaks a cycle, the artist who transmits beauty, the friend who truly listens, the worker who brings integrity into a compromised system. You do not have to be famous to be luminous. You do not have to be loud to be impactful. When you embody your star essence, your nervous system becomes a sanctuary. Your home becomes a frequency. Your gaze becomes medicine. You stop asking, "What am I supposed to do?" and start living the transmission of who you are. Your mission is not a performance. It is an emanation. Fourth, your unity consciousness is activated. This is where the illusion of separation begins to dissolve not only as an idea, but as an experience. Solitude dissolves, not necessarily meaning you are never alone, but meaning you no longer feel alone even when you are by yourself. The old wound of exile begins to heal. You're no longer an isolated seeker collecting spiritual concepts like souvenirs. You become part of the unity grid, amplifying the planetary awakening. This is the field where what you heal in yourself reverberates outward, and what others heal reverberates back to you. It's the living truth of, if one member suffers, all suffer. If one member is honored, all rejoice. Every act of kindness, every flash of intuition, every moment you choose integrity over fear, radiates outward, broadcasting the Pleiadian frequency into the collective, transforming isolation into family. You start noticing you can feel people more clearly. You can sense what isn't being said. Your discernment sharpens, not as judgment, but as clarity. You begin to recognize your soul tribe, not by aesthetics or opinions, but by resonance. Conversations become activations. Eye contact becomes a remembering. You realize unity is not sameness. Unity is harmony. It is different notes creating one chord. And as your unity consciousness awakens, you stop seeing your sensitivity as a burden and start seeing it as a gift meant to serve the whole. Fifth, you trust the divine timing. This stage is tender because it asks you to make peace with the chapters you once tried to erase. Every longing, every pause, every heartbreak was synchronized so your remembrance could impact not just you, but the ascending world itself. There is a kind of timing that the mind will never understand, because the mind wants immediacy, control, proof. But the soul moves like seasons. It ripens, it waits, it orchestrates intersections you cannot schedule. Looking back, you may realize that certain doors didn't open because you would have stepped through with the wrong identity, the wrong frequency, the wrong level of maturity. Some relationships ended because they were not aligned with your future self. Some delays occurred because your soul needed to build strength, discernment, and inner sovereignty. Both your delays and your breakthroughs were chosen by your oversoul, not chosen as suffering for its own sake, but chosen as curriculum, lessons in embodiment, humility, patience, courage, and self-trust. You are on a Pleiadian timeline now, one that honors the perfection of your journey. This is where you stop measuring your life against someone else's path. This is where you stop calling yourself behind. Behind what? The soul does not run on comparison, it runs on alignment. When you trust divine timing, you stop trying to force outcomes and start following resonance. You understand that what is yours cannot miss you. You understand that detours are sometimes the direct route, and you begin to feel the quiet relief of surrender, the relief of no longer fighting the river. Sixth, you reconnect fully with your star family, the Seven Sisters, the High Council, the ones who have always walked beside you in the unseen. Now, their presence envelops you, in dreams, in meditative light, in synchronicities that feel too precise to ignore, in sudden waves of peace that arrive for no reason, in the gentle warmth of knowing you have never, not for one breath, been alone. This stage can feel like the sky coming closer. It can feel like the distance between worlds thinning. You may receive guidance as symbols, as inner knowing, as repeated messages that land in your awareness with authority and tenderness. You may sense loving pressure at the crown of your head, warmth in your heart, tingles along your spine, or a feeling of being witnessed by something benevolent. And you may begin to understand that family is not only biological. Family is also vibrational. Family is recognition. Family is the ones who know your soul's true name. This reconnection does not remove your human life. It enriches it. It does not make you float above your responsibilities. It gives you strength to meet them. It does not make you superior. It makes you more devoted. Because when you feel the presence of your star family, you realize you are part of something immense and intelligent and compassionate. You realize your life is not random. You realize your prayers have been heard in ways you didn't anticipate. Before they call, I will answer. While they are yet speaking, I will hear. The unseen has been listening all along. And seventh, you embody the light. This is not about being perfect. This is about being coherent. It is about no longer living divided. One self for the world, one self hidden in private. Your heart merges with your cosmic blueprint, establishing you as a beacon, a love-encoded guide for all who are ready to awaken. You become steadier. You become clearer. You become less reactive. You begin to respond from the soul instead of from old wounds. Your boundaries become holy, not harsh. Your compassion becomes wise, not self-sacrificing. Your intuition becomes practical, not chaotic. Your soul path is now your sacred contribution, transmitting the Pleiadian current into every interaction, every word, every choice. Even when you are not talking about star origins, you are transmitting the frequency of remembrance through the way you live. You start to understand that light is not a concept, it is a responsibility. Light reveals, light warms, light grows, light guides. And when you embody it, you stop seeking permission. You stop waiting to be chosen. You remember you were already chosen by virtue of being here now, in this timeline, in this great turning of the ages. Here is the heart of the guidance your soul has been longing to hear. You never lost your way. You were simply preparing to remember at the exact vibration that would serve the all. There is a mercy in the timing of awakening. If you had remembered too early, you might have been crushed by the contrast. If you had remembered too late, you might have missed the window when your frequency is most needed. The Seven Sisters aligned their frequencies so you could awaken not in isolation, but in resonance with all who are rising beside you now. This is why so many are waking up at once. This is why spiritual language is appearing everywhere. This is why old systems are cracking. This is why the collective is being forced to see what it avoided. Your pain was a promise. Not because pain is holy in itself, but because your pain carried a message. There is more for you than survival. Your longing was a signpost. Not because longing is weakness, but because longing is memory reaching for itself. The reunion you seek is both cosmic and cellular, a weaving of destiny and desire. It is cosmic because it reconnects you with star lineage and higher councils of guidance. It is cellular because it rewrites how safe you feel in your own body, how present you can be on Earth, how much joy you can hold without bracing for loss. It is destiny because it was encoded before you arrived. It is desire because your soul has been consenting all along, even when your mind was afraid. You are not here to survive. You're here to shine. Surviving is what you did when you didn't know you were supported. Shining is what you do when you remember. The soul mission unfolding before you was always written in the geometry of the stars and the compassion of your heart. Geometry is not just shape. It is intelligence. It is the language of creation, the sacred order beneath apparent chaos. The same patterns that form snowflakes and galaxies also form the pathways of awakening. When you feel the pulse of that call, you are feeling the love of 1,000 lifetimes. You are feeling every version of you that endured, that prayed, that hoped, that kept going even when it made no sense. You are feeling the embrace of a family that speaks in light and resonance. This is your realignment. This is the touch of the seven sisters, activating the codes that slept within you for eons, now ready to guide you home, step by remembered step. Not home as an escape from Earth, but home as a state of being. Home in your body, home in your heart, home in your purpose, home in the unified field. Home is when your inner world and outer world stop contradicting each other. Home is when your nervous system recognizes peace as familiar. Home is when your choices match your truth. Tonight, before you rest, place your hand over your heart and invite this remembrance with these living words. I reunite my path with my divine star family. I open to the guidance and love of the seven sisters. My soul mission unfolds in unity, grace, and crystalline clarity. I am home. Let the words land slowly, not as a performance, but as consent. Feel the warmth beneath your palm. Feel the subtle rhythm of your heart, your human drum, your earth rhythm, meeting the vastness of your cosmic origin. If emotion rises, let it. If resistance rises, bless it. Resistance is often just the old self making sure it's safe. Tell your inner being, we are safe to remember now. We are safe to shine now. We are safe to receive now. And as you drift towards sleep, imagine the sky not as distant, but as intimate. Imagine the seven sisters like gentle lights above an ancient temple, not watching to judge, but watching to bless. Imagine their frequency entering your field like soft rain, cleansing, calibrating, restoring. He who neither slumbers nor sleeps is how Scripture speaks of divine guardianship, an eternal attentiveness. Whether you call it God, Source, the unified field, the seven sisters, or the love behind all names, the truth is the same. You are held, you are guided, you are known. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.